Today we're doing a half-hour practice that really serves to release any tension that you might be feeling in your neck, shoulders, upper back, chest, and arms. So really giving a lot of care and attention to the upper body, and you will need 2 blocks in order to do this practice. So we're not necessarily focusing on strengthening the upper body. We're really just going to hold poses for a little bit longer in order to improve mobility and really let go of any stress and tension that might be pent up there. Let's begin seated. This can either be cross-legged, kneeling, or up on a block. It just depends how comfortable you are in your lower back. So I'm going to stay cross-legged. I want to lift out of the lower back and drop the shoulders down and away from the ears. Started with our neck release. Keep the chin elevated, and you're going to drop your right ear towards the right shoulder. So not tipping the chin down, but keeping it slightly elevated. You want to start to feel your stretch into the left side of your neck. If this is enough, stay where you are. Otherwise, left fingertips can reach out towards the mat as you straighten the arms. This should deepen the intensity a little more. And if you want to go further into the pose, you're going to use your right hand and lightly press it over the top of your head. Instead of thinking about pressing down on the head, you want to instead think about pulling the ear away from the shoulder and press the left shoulder down. You can allow the eyes to close. Make sure you're not clenching the jaw. Always seeing if you can lower that left shoulder a little more. Breathing in a way where you can feel the rib cage expand, side to side, front to back, with every breath you take. Let's start to roll our chin down towards the right shoulder, so stretching more towards the back of the neck. Ten breaths here. Let's bring our right hand underneath the head, and you want to use arm strength to lift the head all the way back up to center. Release the fingertips back to the floor, give yourself a good shoulder shrug, and we'll go to the other side. So this time it's your left ear that's dropping towards the left shoulder. If this is enough, stay as you are. Otherwise, right fingertips can crawl to the side, and you can use your left hand to very lightly, instead of pressing down, just think of pulling the ear further away from the shoulder and pressing the top of that right shoulder down. Keep your chin slightly lifted and close the eyes as you breathe deeply into the right side of your neck. 10 breaths here. Notice if you're slouching forward or contracting through the upper body. Stay nice and tall through the spine. You're really just isolating the neck. Let's stretch towards the back of the neck. So you're going to roll your chin down to look towards the left shoulder or left armpit. And maybe you can keep pressing a little bit in the back of the head. Breathing into the upper back and the side of your neck. Take one more deep inhale. And let's cradle the head with our left hand. Use arm strength to bring that head all the way back up. And let's release. You will need both blocks. Come onto hands and knees. We're going to take puppy pose, but going a lot deeper into it by using those blocks. So depending on how tight or how open your shoulders are, I would recommend starting off on the first level. And if you find that it's too easy, you can always boost it up. But for most people, first level is more than enough. You want to keep your hips over the top of your knees, and then you're going to come down onto your elbows. Press the palms towards one another, and then you're melting the chest down towards the floor, bending the elbows, and reaching the fingertips towards the back of the neck. So maybe the forehead will come down to the floor, maybe it won't. It's okay if the head is just dangling there. And if you find that this is way too intense and your shoulders are really tight, you can do this puppy pose without the blocks and just keep the elbows on the floor. We're trying to reach our hips back and melt the heart down. Keep the belly slightly engaged so there's not too much of a curve in the lower back. Take your last 5 breaths in the pose. And let's straighten the arms. Move really slowly. We've been here for a while. Carefully, you're going to lift the chest back up, palms to the ground, and just move your blocks to the side. We won't need them for a little while. And we'll just take cat and cow. So knees are underneath your hips, palms underneath your shoulders. As you inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze, curl tailbone up. Really reach your heart forward here. And then exhale, round the spine, chin to chest. Press into the fingertips. Take a few more rounds. Inhale, lift up, look up. And exhale, round. Feel the motion in the upper back, in the shoulders, and a little bit in the lower back as well. Taking your final cycle here. Inhale, we lift. Exhale, slowly bring it in. And let's come back into our neutral tabletop pose. As you inhale, you're going to reach your right arm up towards the sky, maybe lift and look up. And then exhale, release it down, reach your right fingertips back. So 2 more times. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, swing it through. Last one, inhale up. And this time as you swing it through, you're going to keep going until the shoulder and the ear come down to the floor. Reach your left fingertips forward as you straighten the left arm. Stay high onto the fingertips and feel the shoulder blades draw down the back. Relax your neck. Press the right arm into the floor firmly so that you can twist a little bit deeper. Make the most of your time in this pose by focusing the breath in the upper back. So it's important that the neck can relax here. Take another breath. And let's slide our left hand back underneath the left shoulder and press your way up into your tabletop pose. Before we do the other side, just tuck your toes under, sit your hips back onto your heels. You're going to interlace your fingers and then just press the palms forward as you round through the upper back. Pull the lower belly in. And let's release. Second side, in your tabletop stance. As you inhale, you're going to reach your left arm up. Inhale. And exhale, just reach it underneath you. 2 more like this. Inhale up. Exhale, release it under. Warming up the shoulder. Last one. Inhale up. And this time, swing it through until the shoulder and the ear can come down to the floor. Relax your neck and extend your right arm forward, coming up onto the fingertips. Press the left hand and the arm down into the floor to twist a little deeper. Pull the lower belly in. We want to make this a really nurturing practice. Some great poses to do if you sit at a desk all day. Or if you drive a lot, or even carry small children. Take 2 more breaths. Let's slide that right hand back. Press it into the floor and lift all the way back up. Left fingertips reach to the sky. Bring your left palm down to the ground. Let's tuck the toes under. We'll do that same thing. Sit onto the heels. Interlace your fingers and reach through the knuckles as you round through the upper back. Let's release. We're going to come into our first down dog. We're really not going to spend a lot of time in down dog in this class because we're not really focusing on strength too much, but make sure your palms are shoulder width distance apart, feet are hip width distance apart, and then you can lift up and back. Pressing into the heels, just sway the hips side to side. Lengthen your down dog by pressing your chest towards your thighs. And we'll walk forward to the top of the mat. Making our way into our ragdoll fold, but we will open up at the front of the shoulders a little more. So bend your knees, interlace your fingers behind your lower back, and reach your knuckles up and over. Really important that the neck be relaxed here. Squeeze your shoulder blades behind you. And bend your knees as much as you'd like. Staying in your forward fold, just release your fingertips back to the floor. We'll take a neck release from here. So you interlace your fingers again, and you're going to bring your hands towards the back of the neck and pretty much at the back of the head, so right where the skull and the neck meet. Elbows point down towards the floor, and you can just bring your elbows in line with the jaw and then let yourself hang heavy. It should feel like a little bit of a traction in the neck. If it feels like too much, you can just hold on to opposite elbows instead. And let's release. Fingertips come down to the floor. Bend your knees generously. And let's slowly roll all the way up to stand, inch by inch. Head and shoulders are the last to make their way up. We're going to draw the shoulders down and away from the ears. Palms shine forward. Standing at the top of the mat, let's bring our big toes together to touch. Heels should be about an inch or so apart. We'll take our half sun salutations. As you inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Bring your palms together to touch. Exhale, bend the knees as you fold forward. Halfway lift, flat back. And exhale, fold a little deeper. Press to stand, both arms reach up overhead, palms come together to touch. Exhale, hands at your heart. 2 more like this. Inhale, lift up, look up. Exhale, fold all the way down. Inhale, lift. Exhale to fold. Press to stand, strong legs, strong belly. And hands at the heart. Last time, inhale, reach and look up. Exhale, fold forward. Take your halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, we fold. Press to stand, reach both arms up overhead, bring your palms together to touch. And as you exhale, bring your hands down to your heart. We're going to come from here into warrior 2. So keep your right foot forward. And you're going to step that left foot back. You want to bring your left foot parallel to the short edge of your mat so that you can bend into your right knee and press your right knee open. Arms will reach out. Sink down as low as you can. We're going to reverse our warrior. So left hand comes down. Right arm reaches up and over. Find your side bend, and we're going to take a neck release from here. So instead of looking up and engaging your neck, I want you to let your left ear drop towards the left shoulder, and then your right fingers are going to reach towards the front of your mat. So this should feel really good from the right ear all the way down the arm. Keep bending in your right knee so nothing changes in the legs. So using those right fingertips to reach, you're going to come all the way back into your warrior 2. Let's straighten the right leg and bring your back toes in a couple inches. Narrow your stance. We're going to take triangle pose. So hips will go back. You can slide your right hand down your right leg. Grab a hold of your shin. Instead of keeping the left arm up and looking up, which can be difficult on the upper body, we're going to take a half bind. So left hand rests towards the lower back or maybe holds on to the inner thigh crease. And again, let your right shoulder drop, let your right ear drop towards your right shoulder. You're just trying to spin the chest up towards the sky, pressing into both legs evenly. Engage the obliques. We're going to come all the way back up. And then looking to the top of the mat, step up. And we'll go do the second side. So left leg will stay forward. Right foot will step back. Bring your right foot parallel to the short edge of your mat. Bend into the left knee and press that left knee open. Reach out with the arms. Warrior 2. Shoulders are staying up in line with our hips. Let's reverse. Right hand down, left arm up. Instead of straining the neck, you're going to let your right ear drop towards the right shoulder and then bring your left fingertips to reach towards your left knee. And you're still bending into that knee to drop the hips down low. A nice stretch, breathe into it. Using your right hand for support and stability. Use the reach in those left fingertips to come back into your warrior 2, nice and slow. Straighten the left leg and bring your back toes in just a couple inches. Triangle pose, hips go back. Slide your left hand down your left leg. Instead of having the right arm up, let's just bring our right hand towards our lower back or towards the inner thigh crease and let your head drop down. So we're not tilting or leaning forward. I'm still trying to pull my right shoulder back. So you're still maintaining the foundation of your triangle pose. You're really just isolating the shoulder, the neck, and the head so that they don't have to work so much. And let's press into both feet. Come all the way back up. Looking to the front of the mat, let's step up. So we'll take a very easy flow, really no strain here. Inhale, lift up and look up. Exhale, fold at the hips, lower down. Take your halfway lift, flat back. And then exhale, plant the hands, just step the feet back into your downward dog. From this down dog, let's extend our right leg up towards the sky, and you're gonna step it forward in between your palms to the top of the mat. Bring your left foot at a 45-degree angle. We're coming into our warrior one. So instead of reaching the arms straight up like we normally would in this warrior one, we're gonna take eagle arms. So the elbows will bend. We're gonna swing our right arm underneath our left, binding once or twice. To get the best stretch that you can here, feel the shoulder blades draw down the back. Palms are pressing away from the face. And now just shrug a little bit. So inhale up and exhale down. A few more times so that you really get the motion in the upper back. Keep your gaze steady. Take about one more. And now let's drop our chin towards the chest. Lift the head all the way back up. Release the hands to the hips. Let's straighten our right leg and bring your back toes in a couple inches. We're going to take our archer arms. So right arm reaches up, bend at the right elbow. So you're trying to bring your right hand towards the middle of your upper back. You can either just use your left hand to press that elbow back, or you can reach the left fingertips behind you and interlace your fingers. You're trying to open up, lifting up tall. Take an inhale here, and then exhale, hinge at the waist and start to fold. So 3 breaths in your pyramid pose. You can always hold on to clothing if the reach for the fingers isn't really working. Let's release fingertips to the floor. Nice and slow, bend into your right knee, step it back to your downward facing dog. Let's move to the other side. Left leg up. Step it through in between your palms. Right foot at a 45-degree angle, warrior one. So instead of having the arms straight up, we're gonna bend the elbows. This time it's left arm underneath your right, binding once or twice. And that same thing, press the forearms towards one another, keep bending the left knee, and just shrug the elbows up and then down a few times. Inviting the shoulders and the upper back to open up a little more. And bring the elbows back down. Let's drop the chin to the chest, stretching at the back of the neck. Lift the chin back up, release the arms, hands on your hips. You're going to straighten the left leg and just bring your back toes in a little bit. Arch your arms, left arm up, bend into the elbow, and you can either use your right hand to press that elbow back and open it up a little more, or you can reach your right fingertips behind you and interlace the fingers. Square off your hips and shoulders to the front of the mat And then let's fold forward. Let's bring our fingertips and palms back down to the mat. Bend into your left knee. Take your last downward facing dog. Stretching nice and long. Knees will come to the floor. Let's finish our class in supported fish. It's a really great way to open up the chest. Bring the blocks down to the floor. You'll want one block to be underneath the shoulder blades, so underneath the upper back, and the other block is underneath the head. Lower your way down. And you can do any height that works best for you. I'm just going to keep it on my lowest level. Palms can stay out to the sides or reach up overhead. 10 breaths here in this pose. Breathing into the chest. If the arms were up overhead, you can slide the palms back down. And we're going to ease our way off the blocks to come into Savasana. So you can tuck your chin to your chest, move the first block out of the way, and then prop yourself up onto your forearms. Slide the other one out and lower all the way back. Allowing the spine to be leveled. Palms facing up. Notice if there's any difference in how your neck, back, and shoulders feel now, as opposed to when you first stepped onto your mat. Hopefully that area feels a little bit more spacious, less tense, more comfortable. Start to breathe a little bit deeper. wiggling fingers and toes, or gently turning the head from side to side. Let's reach our arms up overhead. Take your final deep stretch, getting as long as you can from fingertips to toes. And then the knees can bend. We're going to roll to one side and lift up. Take a seat. Hands can rest on the knees or join at the front of the heart. Close the eyes. Give yourself a moment here. And gentle tuck of the chin to keep the back of the neck long. Let's close with one breath together. Inhale through the nose, out the mouth. Thank you so much for doing this class with me. I hope that you will practice with me soon. Namaste.